Season 1, and we win the title against all odds. Season 2, expectations were to stay up. We won the cup. Season 3, and now we have European football to compete with. What highs can we reach in this season? Let's get it started. Last season was good. I wasn't sure how this squad could cope with the step up, but they did well. Now we need more strength in depth. The plan? Mendy did well last season, but he is 35, so I want somebody younger. Maybe to be number 1, but I don't mind some healthy competition in net. So we want Njai, he wants Ajax. We throw more money at him, he chooses Ajax. Great. Next option, Bishasari. Young, cheap, and good with his feet. So let's hope Tarantino doesn't poach him. 3.4 mil, he's in. But then Nice coming for Mendy. And I can't turn down money for a 35-year-old goalkeeper, so he's out. Bishasari will be number 1. At centre-back, Barthia has disappointed me, so I would like to move him on, and Newbie wants out, so we need at least one in. And at full-back, we need one of each. We spent most of last season with one real left-back. I don't want to be doing that again. So Barthia goes to Etihad for 18 mil. Newbie goes to Castellon for 750k. Roman Torres is loaned out, so the ins. Right back / centre back cover, we want Augsburg. But he chooses Sevilla. So then we sign Kasper Podolski. The giant Pole is rapid and okay on the ball, so we can definitely cover a right back too. Back up at left centre back, and we do what everybody in Spain does. Just go and sign players from Barcelona and Real Madrid's B teams. So Andres Cuenca joins from Barcelona for 1.4 mil. At left back, and we take the classic FM strategy of just sign a young player from South America. In Ganthron, 12.5 mil. Is a bit steep, but he does look incredible. In the middle, Gruev wasn't great last season, but I'm willing to give him another chance. And I would also like to find a replacement for Valares, and also another attacking midfielder to rotate with Marcado. First signing, another player from last year's shortlist, Kali Smerha. 2.5 mil up front with some add-ons. Capable of playing any of the centre midfield roles, he should be a nice squad option. We get another backup midfielder as we dive back into the Real Madrid fountain of youth and sign Cesar Palacios. He is just Paul Fortuny again, but he's better than Paul, so we'll loan him out. Towards the end of the window, we found Carlo Holzer on a free. He's a first teamer who can definitely challenge Mikado for a starting role. Out wide is where we're strong. Mella and Cruz proved last season they can hold their own in the division, so if anything, maybe just a young depth option out here. First, we approach Hajduk Split for Bruno Derdov, but he turns us down for Man City's under 18s? What? Okay, enjoy retirement, kid. So the last signing of the window is Kabashi from Grasshoppers. The wide player could easily do a job centrally, so 2 birds with 1 stone, or 2 grasshoppers with 1 circus cannon. Yeah, that is a Bug's Life reference. It works, trust me. Through the middle, and Aretha Biel set the league alight last season, and hopefully this year we can point Mulatieri in the direction of the goal again. Tactically, I would like to start experimenting with being a bit more expansive once we get everybody settled, so expect some tinkering this season, and expect something mental to happen. Surprisingly, I'm one of the top targets for a number of teams this summer as I receive job interviews for AC Milan, Lazio, Atletico Madrid, Real Betis and Real Madrid. But this is a Deportivo rebuild and none of those teams are called Deportivo, so I guess it just doesn't work as a title and concept, so I pass. We're ready for the season. The preview has us in 13th, which seems fair, but if we can play anything like we did last season, and then with the added quality and experience, I'd maybe be looking for an outside chance at Europe. But before we could get the season started, Saudi come calling again. And after taking Barthia, thankfully, off our hands, Al-Ittihad are now in for Comas. Vice captain and key player, there's no way I want him out. Especially right before the start of the season. So we reject it. Obviously he complains. I said I'd give him a pay rise, and he asks for 350 grand a week. Yeah, so that's not happening. So the season starts here, and we have Mallorca at home. The team for the first game of the season is quite familiar, so let's go. Well, that's not the ideal start, but the only way is up. Well, maybe we have to go a bit deeper first. Okay, thanks Comas, that's very helpful. Alaves up next, and they're just as bad as we are. Comas has been given the same treatment as Jeremy was last season, so he's out of the 11. Finally, we see a bit of quality. Oscar and New Boy Holzer, incredible. I mean, the individuals were good, but the performance wasn't great. Something to build on though. Deadline day was supposed to be a quiet one, but a release clause triggered, so Gruev headed to Saudi. So I panic, and I try and get a replacement. Banal, too expensive. Kamara, too expensive. The issue we have is the Gruev money isn't here, and we can't afford anything right now. So we sign nobody, but Gruev is still here after the deadline. Oh wait, the Saudi window isn't closing, so Gruev's gone. That's a massive hole left in our midfield. September, which brings the Europa League, and sees us conquer Europe for the first time. Our fixtures are quite nice, so I fancy our chances. But first we have to get the league form back on track, and we do just that. Espanyol handled 1-0. Atletico Madrid, and our first good performance and win so far this season. Even with the red card, which saw me attempt whatever this is. So our Europa League journey starts with an away day in Belgium, and in the first half we announced ourselves in this competition. Oscar with 2 goals from Jeremy and Erythbale see us coast home in 45 minutes. But the second half wouldn't bring the same joy. Knock for goalkeeper Bishasari, injury for Jeremy, and a red card for Quaglietta. We do hold out 4-0 winners, but it's time to see the extent of those injuries. Bishasari was just a knock, but he's out for 6 to 7 weeks? What? Okay, Jeremy, only 2 weeks. Okay, well, looks like Pereño has to step in again. And there wasn't much he could do to stop Sevilla. 2-1 defeat. We have just struggled to get any sort of consistency going this season. But closing the month, we have Braun in the Europa League and the derby against Celta Vigo. So let's try and get our season started. Braun brought our first dominant performance of the season and saw some of Season 1's youth intake get on the pitch. These boys will be used throughout the season. With injuries and a busy schedule, we need them. And we carried that dominant performance straight into the derby. We would only score 1 goal with a late Erythbale penalty, but it gives us the win. End of the month also saw Comas come to his senses and withdraw his transfer request. Thankfully, September ends with an international break, so we can get some players back fit. October, and Jeremy and Mulatieri return from their injuries and are ready to face Bilbao. Wait, no, Mulatieri's injured again? Ugh, wait, and Pereño? Oh no, not again. Both goalkeepers out. Bishasari fails a late fitness test for the trip to Bilbao, so it's return of the 17-year-old goalkeeper. Wish him good luck. Erythbale gives us the lead, but then big moment. Penalty for Bilbao. Could the 17-year-old be the hero? Surely not. A massive save. Who would have expected a kid with 7 1-on-1s to come big at the penalty? Well, that joy didn't last long. We survive. Erythbale hat-trick, but annoyingly Quaglietta gets another red, so that's 2 reds in 4 games. What is he doing? This is exactly why we signed Ingentron. Osasuna up next, and we left it late as we attempt to win it with this abomination of a tactic screen. All that hassle just to win it from a corner. 9 games in when we sit nicely in 5th. Next up, we have Cordoba in 4th, and finally we see the downsides of having Valacher in goals. Well, it was a poor defensive performance on a whole, 3-2 loss. Rest of the month saw the kids see off Mulder in the Europa League for a perfect start to the campaign, and we snuck past Oviedo. November. This is the tactic that we have been using. With the lack of fullback cover and the emergence of Podolski, the 3 centre-back lineup of Comas, Podolski and Cabello has been great and allows us to be fluid with selections. Some big games this month, but we made it 3 wins in a row versus Granada. Triple header of big games against Atalanta, Barcelona and Real Madrid. Atalanta was a very even game in the stats and also on the scoreline, but Captain Vlaras got injured, so now we're only down to 1 CDM. Barcelona up next, and after 3 minutes, Patino gives us the lead. Erythbale doubles our lead in the first half, and we rode our luck to claim the win. Are we getting ourselves into a title race? Real Madrid up next, and could we win again and blow this title race wide open? Mellor after 40 minutes, and maybe this season we mean real business. Okay, one step at a time. Ingentron injured in that game. When will his injuries end? We end the month with a couple of 3-2 wins. Still unbeaten in Europe, another late win in the league leaves us in 5th. December, and we are on the ball. An Oscar brace sees off Valladolid. Cecilia gets his first senior goal to round out a win in Europe against Zurinsky. Malaga beaten, but yet another injury for Bishasari, so roll out Valacher again, but only for the bench this time. Sociedad, and again, the lack of real goalkeeper lets us down. First defeat in 5. Back to winning ways to end the month, and Patino's beautiful solo goal kicks off a great 3-1 win over Valencia. January, and we finally get to use the Gruev money and sign a CDM, but not before some in-house business. The issue in Spain is that everybody needs a release clause, so I have to keep on top of ensuring that these clauses are higher than the player's market value. So with Comas now happy, he was top of the list. Somehow got him to take a slight wage reduction, but a massive 64 million release clause, so our vice captain will be staying for a while yet. Oscar and Mel are up next. Oscar deserves his wage increase, and the 80 mil release clause should see off any suitors. Mellor only has 18 months left on his deal, so yet again, a wage reduction but a bumper release clause. Back to the CDM hunt, and there's only one man we have in mind. Since we want a Valera's replacement, somebody who's more of a rock rather than a playmaker, we go for Alexander Chernikov. A very good CDM, just entering his prime. 6 mil release clause is cheap, but he will be one of the highest earners of the club, but I feel like he should be an important member of this team. Games in January, we lost the Super Cup semi to Real. We were flying at half-time, but we collapsed in extra time. But who cares, right? Talking about who cares, the Cup. Yeah, we won it last year, but this season, let's just ignore it. But in the league, we were unbeaten. We did lose Mercado to yet another injury, but Girona were beaten by a late winner. Mallorca was Chernikov's debut. It was 0-0, but to be fair, for us, that's a good result, because I have not beaten Mallorca yet in this save. Alaves and Espanyol, beaten handedly, sees us sit comfortably in third, with a healthy lead over the chasing pack. In Europe, and we finished the league stage unbeaten, Rangers and AZ beaten, and more minutes for kids, and another goal for Cecilia, who was quickly becoming the front-running youth player. That unbeaten league month saw me win Manager of the Month award. February, a month full of some tough games, which we manoeuvred fairly alright. We let a 3-1 lead slip away to Atletico, Erithibial gets another goal to see off Sevilla. The fans would be fairly annoyed with no win against Celta Vigo, but a draw versus Bilbao and a rare Mulatiari goal versus Osasuna. Another unbeaten month, 10 games unbeaten in the league. We're still safe in third. March sees the return of the Europa League knockouts. We did draw a bit of a short straw as we pull Aston Villa, and then that short straw looked pretty short. After 17 minutes, we were behind. A few minutes later, and we were sunk. 2-0. No way back in the first leg. We certainly didn't get any confidence flowing ahead of the second leg, with a drab 1-1 draw against Oviedo. Second leg, 2-0 down, but we are in our house now. All we have is hope. So play that Europa League music and let's go and overturn this result. 6 minutes in, and Lauriero with some nice play out wide, and he sneaks into smash home and gives us the ideal start. Bang, back post header from that man Lauriero again. 2-2, we're level. In 11 minutes, second half, and bang. Erithibial volley sees us overturn the first leg lead. That's it, we did it. Wait, we get the win, but yet another injury for Jeremy. He isn't even injury prone, yet consistent injuries. Well, a massive second leg performance, and we're in the quarters, where we draw Lille. Tough. Well, after that win, we end the month with a new deal for me, so may the good times continue. April, and it's a make or break month for us. Games versus Barcelona and Real Madrid, sandwiched between Lille and the quarterfinals. The league at this stage is good. Results against the big two would secure us a third place finish, but if not, we have a nice end to the season to see it through ourselves. So our main focus is Lille, but Barca up first, and they tore us apart in the first 20 minutes. All we could do was sit and watch, so never mind that, focus switches straight to Lille. They're underachieving in the league, so maybe we can push through. 20 minutes in, and the worst possible news. Injury to key man and top goal scorer Erithibial. Müller hasn't been firing again this season, and he doesn't have a goal in Europe yet. But it's all we have. Very quiet game, not much to report. But 10 minutes left. And they hit us on the counter, and Hamza Igame puts them ahead. First leg defeat. And we lose our star man. Great. Erithibial's out for 11 days. So that's the second leg gone too. We need a plan. Erithibial has 18 goals this season, meanwhile Mulatieri has 3. We haven't seen any of the Mulatieri we had on loan in season 1. I was wrong to fall in love and chase a lone player. So Madrid up next, and not trusting Mulatieri, I need a plan. And that plan is Cruz as a false 9. So let's test it. Brace for Cruz. But we draw. But Cruz shines through the middle, so maybe we can make this work. Second leg, it's Cruz through the middle again, so now all we can do is dream. And shout, since they're back. Play the Europa League music. 30 minutes on the clock, and a Cruz corner in the mixer. It hits somebody's hand. Penalty. Mercado steps up, slots home. Great start. We're level. Quiet game again, but we're on top. In the 72nd minute, Mella picks up the ball, sends through Cruz. 2-1. We're up. We've been on top in this game, and now we just have to see out the next 20 minutes. 90th minute. Deep ball out wide. Santos to the near post. Halenkm again. Extra time. Well, that passed pretty quickly. Penalties. Quagliata and Mulitiari on in extra time for these pens. So it's Cruz, Mella, Quagliata, Mercado, and Mulitiari. That's the list. Here we go. Leo kick us off. Lopez up first. Scores. Cruz first for us. Scores. Halenkm. 2 goals in this tie. Scores again. Mella. Scores. Ever reliable. Fernandez Pardo for them. Saved. Advantage us. Quagliata. I brought him on for this. Missed. Back to square one. Wonder Kid Boadi. Scores. Advantage Leo. Mercado. He's already scored 1 penalty today. Misses. Score and Lille win. Mendoza. It's over. Lille win. That's it. First year with European football, and we fall at the quarter-final stage. So close, yet so far. Main fallout of this season has been all the injuries. Key players missing countless games. Jeremy missed most of the season. But now we have 5 games to see the season out and lock in the Champions League place. And we did just that. 5 games, 5 wins, 4 clean sheets to end the season. Caesar's finishing 3rd. 81 points. Great campaign. Most clean sheets in the league, and despite the few injuries he picked up, Bishasari gets the Golden Glove. 81 points. Still some way off the top dogs, but the gap is closing. The budgets for next season are not promising considering we got Champions League football, but hopefully that changes once the money comes in. Glory will soon be back in Deportivo, and soon we'll lift the La Liga trophy again. Okay, quick squad overview to end things. We stepped up from last year. I was expecting to be fighting for Europe, but to comfortably be the 3rd best team was brilliant. Arizabiel again led the way in goals, but this time Oscar was right behind him. Oscar this season has really become the main man in this team over Jeremy. Obviously, injuries to Jeremy helped him, but he still had to perform. And talking of Jeremy, he did great when he played, but yet another season of injuries. Either we have to learn how to manage him better, or maybe we cash in if there's any suitors. We already have his replacement outperforming him, so I guess we'll see. In terms of assists, Mercado leads again. A quieter season for him, but he's still been great. And here's the top performers. Patino once again rose his level as the team did. Majorly impressed by new signing Podolski. Young centre-back, played mostly at right-back as the inside full-back, but he was brilliant. Cabello too. Star Reigns never really back him, but I've always liked him, and he's great again this season. Bishasari in there obviously was incredible. Ingenthron did well in his debut season. And in terms of youth, Cecilia really outshined everybody else in his class. Probably not ready for first team football next season, but some of these academy players will get loaned out. No real disappointments in the squad outside of Mulitiari again, so maybe we're in the market for a new striker. So, on to season 4. Champions League, no money, but could we make it work again? I'll see you there.